Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the VESL Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Qualifiers. I am your host this evening, Captain Atsuka, joined on the desk by none other than Deprive or Deprive. Tell me, which one is it? How do you pronounce that?
It's the private circa, but it's a pleasure to be back here with you on the mic, and especially for some high school esports as well. Always so exciting. So super excited to be on the desk with you here today and be able to bring all the action to all you viewers back at home.
Oh, absolutely. For those that were with us yesterday, we got to see some really good Valorant action, and now today it's all about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let's go ahead and take a look at who we have getting ready to go into tonight's matchup. And let's see who's going to be going head-to-head. What we got on the schedule today. Break it down for us, Deprive.
Yeah, we got a few matches on the slate here for us today. It's a couple. It is going to be Enloe High versus Wake Young Men's Leadership Academy as our first game of the day. Moving in from that one, we are going to be moving into Leesville Road High School versus Southeast Raleigh High School. So a couple names coming through here. We do have two 0-2 squads facing off against each other. So one of these two teams will find a win here tonight for their first matchup. And then the second matchup, Southeast Raleigh, a school to compete with for sure, as they're currently sitting at a 2-1 record, comparing it to the Leesville Road High of 0-2 record. So we'll see some interesting matches tonight. Hopefully some good games as well. And actually, Atsuka, this is my first ever time casting Smash as well. So bear with me on that one, but we're gonna be rolling with the punches today.
Oh, most definitely, as we get ready to head into our first matchup against, it's going to be Enloe versus WYM or WLA. That is a mouthful and a half. And they are currently sitting both at 0-2 in the qualifiers. And this is going to be a big chance for them as they get a chance to put a win on the board and then even propel themselves further into the season. And of course, throughout the qualifiers, trying to put themselves in a qualifying position for regionals. And then afterward, we have Leesville Road taking on Southeast Raleigh. Leesville at 0-2, Southeast Raleigh at 2-1. But let's get ready to head into our first matchup to start things off. I'm looking forward to seeing what type of characters are going to be coming to the table, who's going to be stepping up on stage, and who is going to be the most meta pick. I'm interested in seeing pick rates. So far in my region, it's been a lot of Palutena.
Yeah, I don't know personally as much about my own region, to be completely honest, about what is typically played. But I do go to Fisher College. We got a whole lot of Smash players on campus, and so we do see a couple of those coming through here. We got the Pyramithra as one of them as well. That is one of the champs that what are they called here in Smash? So are they called champs, agents?
Oh, they're just called characters.
Characters, okay, sweet.
For the most part. At least in my experience, that's what we call them. We call them characters. But it's interesting that this is your first time casting Smash. I gotta say, it's definitely one of my favorites. And this is what has been keeping me busy, throughout the season. It's been a lot of Smash. But you know what I love what I'm seeing already? We got ourselves the big bad Donkey Kong, who happens to be my favorite Nintendo character in my favorite Nintendo franchise. Donkey Kong Country is probably my favorite Nintendo game of all time. And with that being said, they're going to be going up against a Pyramithra. So you got the big heavy versus a swordy, and a very good one at that. Again, they have Pyramithra, so they are interchangeable between two characters, actually.
Yeah, it's going to make things very interesting. And a good start for the Pyramithra as well. You look at the percents at the bottom, a good 60% separating these two. And the Firefox here now actually going to be on kill shot if he can get something landed right here from the Pyramithra. There's a nice little one right there. Going to get sent up way in the air, but stays alive for now. 170% and counting, and there it goes. The Pyramithra will find that first one, and Enloe will pick up the first stock.
Yeah, that they do. And again, not too much of a surprise there, given that Pyramithra, again, has a lot of range in their abilities, and that's what we love about the swordies, again, especially going off stage. Donkey Kong's off-stage presence is not that great. I mean, their recovery also isn't that great either. I mean, it's enough to get the job done, but barely at that. Meanwhile, you do have the ledge guard coming through as Donkey Kong still trying to find the first stock off of this Pyramithra, but right now, Pyramithra, they are just keeping Donkey Kong at bay, and they're barely landing, and he hits it all.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong, the Pyramithra will get tagged up at least to, in the 150%, 160s here now. And Donkey Kong actually looking to find something here, but up to 77% already. I mean, this Pyramithra, even if you do lose a stock here or two, you're finding a great amount of value here. You can just win this set. It's going to be a nice little some damage. Oh, and it's actually bringing it back very nicely as well. Enloe looking good so far in the start of this set. These are two schools who are winless on the season so far, so both looking for a win here today. And now a little bit of a bounce back from Donkey Kong, and that is going to be a reset for the Pyramithra, now 2 stocks apiece.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised if we're going to be seeing a revenge stock in kind, and there it is, and there it goes. I mean, they had equal footing, but no longer. Again, not bad at all. As you can see, this Palutena is definitely doing a good bit of work here as they continue on trying to solidify the first round win in the favor of Enloe. Or Enloe, you know, I'm just gonna call it Enloe just because it makes it just a little bit easier. But just a friendly reminder for the folks at home, this is 9 stock v 9 stock. It's a 3v3, so the first team to take all stocks from their opponent will be the winner.
Yeah, we see this format played quite often here in more of a team-based thing. So, like, if you, for example, in like high school and collegiate is something we see a lot of the crew battles come through here quite often. I'm a big fan of the format, just a little bit hard to follow sometimes, but we will keep you actively updated here on the stocks remaining for each school, as it is getting a little bit more even here as we near the end of this one. But that 2 stock to 1 stock advantage is really going to make the difference here. If you can keep 2 stocks going into the next set for Enloe, that would be massive. And there it is. The Donkey Kong will go down. 2 stocks remain for Enloe, and a great start to this series. As
of now, you do see that it is going to be the first round win going the way of Enloe. And keep in mind, you know, we are going to be running it back again. This is going, regardless of the outcome, it is a best of 3, so it should be no problem. There's going to be plenty of opportunity for their opponent to try and make a resurgence, try to make a comeback. And again, it's just not over until it's over. It's still plenty of opportunities to see if they can go the distance. But I mean, so far, I'm not too surprised seeing the Palutena being able to take on the Donkey Kong. You have a Sortie who has a lot of reach and a lot of finishing power as well, a lot of knockback by using the Pyro. And then you have Donkey Kong, who just is a little too slow. Again, even amongst the heavies, they don't have the highest pick rate.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this does continue here moving forwards in this series. And, you know, you've been mentioning a lot about pick rate, and I'm very interested to see how this will continue to sway as well moving forwards further into this series. I want to see if Wake Young can actually bounce back and, you know, find something for themselves here, if they can come back and find a 3 stock, or, you know, even just take an advantage on the stocks here coming into this next one. But as for right now, like you said, 9 stocks per each team. It is going to be Enloe currently sitting with 8 remaining, and then the Wake Young men's currently sitting with 6 remaining. So we'll see how that does go as we do sway into game number 2, which we can get started here any moment.
Well, let's get ready to get it started as we head into the next bout. We head into the next matchup, and let's see who they're going to be bringing to the table as we get ready to load in. And we are going to see eventually, after what appears to be a pretty long loading screen, my goodness, the anticipation is mounting. There we go. Looks like it's coming back online, and it's going to be King K. Rool taking on the Pyramithra. I absolutely love King K. Rool. Again, more Donkey Kong action.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong will stay alive here right now. A little bit of a different time this time through, though, and just more of these big characters coming through here for the side of Wimla. Yeah, I'm going to try to abbreviate it, but that being said, some early damage coming through from both players as well. Actually, pretty aggressive off the start to already see 100+% taken off these 2 players combined here. Oh, you get a stock, but you get knocked off. Weren't they supposed to jump off the stage at the beginning to, like, lose that 1 stock? They lost? No?
Honestly, not entirely sure. I mean, you would think so if we're doing like a stock beat stock crew battle, but I'm not sure what it is that is happening at this point anymore. But regardless, it doesn't matter. We're going right back into the ring. Unless these are 2 completely different two different players. Again, you got to remember they are on teams. I don't know.
True. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way that they are running this right now, we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. But regardless, we got the King K. Rool, Final Destination, going up against the Pyramithra. What makes King K. Rool dangerous is that they have a lot more utility than most other heavies. Again, they have the cannonball, they have the crown, and they have a great offstage presence, unlike Donkey Kong. King K. Rool's recovery is absolutely insane, but regardless, it doesn't matter because this Pyramithra from Enloe is still putting on quite the performance.
Now, enlighten me here a little bit, Costa. What makes the heavies so special here in Super Smash Bros? Is it that they're just a little bit harder to kill, but like have less in their arsenal to use against opponents? Is that kind of like the thing here with them?
I mean, it's in the name. They are a lot harder to kill, and they hit a lot harder as well. They are slower, so again, they're not going to be able to chain up combos. But in order to finish, in order to get stocks, you see the Pyramithra there. They have to get a hit.
Oh wow!
That deals a lot of knockback because we do have a lot of characters that just build up percentages constantly and do quick, fast combinations. But these big heavies, they get these hits in, and you get a lot of knockback that sends you into those blast zones, even if you're not at a high percentage. And that's what makes the heavies so unique amongst the other Smash characters.
Now we'll see if the heavy can take some more stocks here off the Pyramithra this time around. Pretty close here on percentages for both these two players, and we'll see if the heavy can get a big old hit off here now. Let's see if they can find something. The Pyramithra really just stacking up some combos here right now, trying to get some damage off, but Firefox going to answer back here a little bit. Trying to get something going as well. Pretty even here now, just floating off the map, gets back on. Little shield coming through from the Pyramithra. And the sword comes through, nothing to be found. Just some punches coming in, and it's honestly pretty much of a stalemate here in the middle of this one. Oh, the swipe away off the playing field there is going to be huge there for the side of Firefox there. Now taking the lead here, down a stock, but up in the percentage counts.
Absolutely, only one stock remaining here for WYMLA as they try and hold on against this Pyramithra from Enloe. As you can see, they are going to be able to recover, find their way back on stage. And now looking for the finisher, as now we are down to one stock v one stock, but that 124 in the red, not looking too good for this King K. Rool as they try and hold on for WYMLA. And this is going to be a tough mountain to climb here.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy task here right now. I mean, you're already at 134%, but like you said, the heavies can hit hard, right? And so if they can land, it really makes a difference. Now already up to 70% here. These shots have been landing. The cannonball has been connecting here from Wimla, as it's now going to be, though, Firefox, good amount of damage knocked off the stage. Now this could be big here for the Pyramithra if they can finish things off here with this one, but a swipe off the stage is going to change things up a little bit. Pyramithra comes back to answer for more, and there's the finish. That's going to be another one in favor of Enloe here right now. Similar story to what we saw in that first set of the day.
Well, if I was to venture a guess and say how they're running it, it seems to be that they're trying to go best 2 out of 3s, and then that will be around. So I'm thinking that's going to be 1 point going the way of Enloe. And again, that's the way that it appears to me, because again, like you had mentioned, you know, the Pyramithra didn't take any stocks. You know, they just GG'd play next. So we'll have to see on how that plays out. But I'm venturing a guess that it was a best 2 out of 3. Enloe won, so they should be able to get 1 point on the board as we get ready to head into the next matchup and see who's going to be coming back on stage for these two schools as we get ready to boot on into the next matchup. And I'm also interested to see on where we're going, what stage it's going to be, and it's going to be Bowser versus Yoshi. And this is a battle almost as old as Nintendo itself.
Indeed here, Acosta. These are two characters I actually do know from my Mario Brothers days, but that being said, it is going to be much different pace from what we saw back in the most previous couple matches here. But I'd assume that the Bowser is still considered like a pretty big heavy, right? You know, slow hits hard. I'd assume
100%.
So. Yeah, I figured. Yoshi, what is Yoshi's like name of the game here? What is their like main ability that is you know, like the big finish or whatever that may be?
I mean, Yoshi is considered a brawler. Again, they like to get up close and personal. They don't have too much utility from a range. They like to use their tail. Clearly, they're good with the headbutts. And then also, I don't know if you noticed, but they have the power of the Timberlands, the power of the Tims, their back airs. They hit pretty hard. So again, you got to watch out for Yoshi. And not only that, but he can also catch you in the egg. He can poop you off the ledge. I mean, there's a little bit that goes on with Yoshi, and it's a very niche character. It doesn't really have that much high of a pick rate, but they do have successful players that do play as Yoshi. It's just a matter of, you know, being able to be comfortable with the character. And as you can see right now, you know, it's not that big of a spread, but you have to keep in mind that, you know, Bowser takes a little bit more extra oomph to send them into the blast zone.
Yeah, we got to see if those Tims will have the power for the oomph to take off the Bowser here in a few moments. But yeah, like you mentioned, Enloe is up 1-0, so format that we were anticipating, you know, you got to win 2 out of 3 of those sets and you get a point on the board. So Enloe starting off hot here right now. Enloe will have the Yoshi this time around, where Wimla does have the Bowser. Some knockups coming through, and that's going to be a good start for the Bowser to answer back for YWMLA. It's now going to be a fight over towards the middle of the playing field here now. The Bowser percentage racking up high. We need to see Yoshi get a big kickback here. get a big side B, whatever that may be, and get him knocked off here. Try to get the start here for the side of Enloe here in set number 2. That being said, there it is, up to 172% here right now. Kill should be coming fairly soon, and there it is. That's going to be the Yoshi, able to find one back, and now 2 stocks ahead.
Yeah, now, but take a look at what it costed them. It costed them 89% on their second stock, and for Bowser, that's nothing. They can literally hit a side B right now, and it could be enough to kill. There's the side B off the top, and there it will go. I didn't even mean to call it into fruition just like that. I mean, it just kind of happened. I think I just called the future.
It's like the caster curse. But a reverse
no,
caster
caster's
curse.
Blessing,
Yeah. Caster's blessing. I love it. I love to hear it. But that being said, Yoshi in some hot water right now. Pretty even percentages for both of these two teams here right now. But down a stock is that Yoshi trying to answer back here and trying to find something. The Bowser looking to knock up onto the Yoshi, not able to land. The Yoshi much quicker than this Bowser, and we'll see that come through here in the plays. In the center, once again here, trying to find who can take the next stock is going to be massive. If Yoshi can at least just find one more, but Yoshi's got a long way to go to try to come back into this one. Got to play super passive. And this is not exactly what you were looking to see if you were Yoshi. Bowser going to slam him on the ground. Going to take some more damage off the Yoshi. And oh, almost knocking him off there as well. But not quite yet. The Yoshi stays to live another day.
Yeah, and you know how we were talking about the power of the Timberlands. Keep in mind, Yoshi also has a dangerous headbutt, and there it is. Again, I just keep doing it. This is amazing. I'm all here for this. I speak things, and then they happen. I'm manifesting. This is awesome. But another thing I wanted to pay attention to is that you saw Bowser also go for the drop kick. You can't underestimate the power of the turtle toes, and you can't underestimate the power of the turtle shell. My goodness, what a finish, as that is going to be an answer back coming from WYMLA.
Yeah, WYMLA able to come back and find their first of the mini best of 3, I guess you could call it here. So they are able to find a good start here on this one. Now, having to find at least one more to be able to tie up this series 1-1 and be able to send us to a potential round number 3 here. So job's not done quite yet, as a great guy, Kobe Bryant, once said. Job's not done. And we'll see if YWMLA can make sure they can lock in and make sure that they can carry on with finding these stocks like they did against the Yoshi there moving forwards. But like you said, Yoshi is someone myself, like I don't watch a ton of Smash, but I definitely have not seen a whole lot of Yoshi. And so definitely a low pick rate coming through. I'm interested to see where we're going to see Enloe head with their next pick.
Well, let's get ready to see. Let's head right on into our next match, which should be the last of this first series, if I'm not mistaken, of this what I assume is a best of 3, and we're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back with Yoshi and Bowser. If it goes the way as it had before, then we should be able to see a tied series in the favor of WYMLA. Let's see how this one plays out, as we are already underway here in round 2 of game 2.
Yeah, round 2 of game 2 here right now. It's going to be the Yoshi who needs to come back if they want to lock this one in and find themselves even or equalizer, I should say. Here coming into this set number 2. It's going to be Yoshi just jumping over the Bowser right now, showing that the speed of the Yoshi really pay off here against someone like Bowser. A little slower and more time when using abilities. And we'll see that come through here now. Yoshi's starting to get a bit of combos off here, juggling the Bowser, but it will come to an end as Bowser looks to spawn back, but nothing found here. Yoshi, a lot more of an aggressive start from what we saw in that first set with Yoshi v. Bowser. This is exactly what you want to see if you are here.
Once again, there's a dreadful side B right on the top platform, and that's going to send it right through the ceiling into the top platform, and then there you go. I mean, this is just textbook Bowser getting those heavy hits in, and now Yoshi able to answer back to the revenge stock. And I gotta tell you, this is looking a lot closer, as you had mentioned, than what we saw in round number 1.
Yeah, definitely a lot closer here, right? I mean, we saw the Bowser kind of pull away in the mid-game of that last set there. So it's nice to see the Yoshi able to adapt a little bit to what the Bowser was actually doing and start to overcome that. But just as I say that, this was an actual caster curse this time. Yoshi does get fumbled down a little bit, but answering back nicely. The Bowser, though, looking for more of these side Bs to help the most so much find that first stock there from Yoshi. Let's repeat that process in here now as well. One miss is coming through, and Yoshi will actually go through behind the Bowser, get a couple hits off, and it's some damage off as well. Very, very even between these two ones. This was the game that I was looking for.
Absolutely. Not to mention, I love to see it. Mario Brothers OG conflict here. As you can see, Bowser was able to take that second stage on their second. Yoshi trying to get another game spot. But like I said, Bowser, like myself, is a big fat guy. You know, you gotta put a little more effort into sending them into the blast zone, not heavy. And that will do it as at 186%. Finally, Bowser loses their second stock, and now they have an even 1v1 as Bowser's gonna start things off once again.
Yeah, the Bowser finding this early advantage could punish the Yoshi. You want to make sure you have the ability to come back from this one here moving forwards. We'll see if the Yoshi does have it in the tank here to make this one happen. Bowser will land on the platform, not able to connect with Yoshi there on that most recent play, but Yoshi getting fumbled up here a little bit right now, getting bounced around over towards the center of this one. Over time, Yoshi gonna get some damage off. Got to try to change this into a combo, but not able to. Yoshi now, here it is. That's a nice little egg coming through there. Another kick up with those Tim coming up. This is finally Bowser for the response. Yoshi with a nice little lead here in the early stages of this one.
You know what? It's because Bowser is constantly going for those down spikes, and I think this Yoshi player is picking up on it time and time again, and they're just able to counter it. They're gonna have to try something else besides those down spikes, because every time they miss, it just leaves them open for a counter attack from the Yoshi. And there they go again, nearly power to the upside of the Timberlands, but it's going to be the headbutt that puts Bowser off stage and has to grab legs. Now the eggs are coming through. They are hitting 187%, goes to the up tilt again. It's not going to be any good, but this should just about do it. There's the opening, but no! It's going to be the tail whip, the back air, in order to send that Bowser to the blast zone. And the win is low to answer back. We go to round 3 here in game 2.
Yeah, we got a third round on the horizon, exactly what we were looking to see. And honestly, in the early stages of that set there, I was like, oh, this is looking scary for the Yoshi here once again. The Bowser looked strong, looked dominant. And like you said, that the Yoshi kind of just figured out the game plan, right? Figure out the game plan, work around it. And that is exactly what we saw for the Yoshi to be able to bring this and force it to a third set. Now, I'm not sure, but are they locked in to have to play Bowser and Yoshi again? I'm not 100% sure. I would not be surprised if we see Bowser Yoshi once again here for this round number 3 if it is these same two players coming through. Only time can tell. But that being said, let's head right into it. Game number 3. We'll get all the action on our way here right now. I just cannot wait another minute. VESL Super Smash Bros. Qualifiers. I believe this being week 2. So a lot of action here to continue to go here in these qualifiers as well. Great to see what VESL is doing for North Carolina High School Esports. And we got the Yoshi Bowser just one more time. Any predictions on who you think is going to take this one at Costa?
Just right off the rip, it's Ahsoka.
Oh, my bad.
Number 1. Number 2 is that honestly on paper, when I would read this out, I think this one would go to the Bowser simply because they're on Final Destination. If you notice the one thing about Final Destination, it's a long, flat stage, and there are no platforms above it. So this would give a lot of advantage to any heavy for that matter, or brawler. I mean, granted that Yoshi's a brawler type, but this should be Bowser all day, every day. But right now, again, Yoshi just doing a good job of being able to go up and over Bowser on a lot of these attacks, and Bowser's really not answering with any anti-airs. You would think there would be some kind of up tilt, or even the spike spin is good for an anti-air, but again, they're just relying too much on those down spikes anytime that Yoshi goes up on high. And now you can see once again, there goes the up tilt looking for the back air, and Bowser able to take that first stock with a pretty impressive comeback.
Yeah, the Bowser's locked in here right now to continue on here with what he did in game number 1 here of this best of 3. But these eggs, they've been the difference maker for me. From watching this Yoshi, these eggs being thrown is just what's been racking up the percentage here for the side of WYMLA, and more specifically this Bowser. As we do see the Yoshi looking to find some more combos here, but it is the Bowser in the midfield getting some good damage off here onto the Yoshi, and already is maintaining a 1-stock advantage as well. This could spell disaster for the Yoshi. Here we go in the center. Oh my goodness, the Yoshi, big kick back there, gonna send him way up near the blast zone, but like you mentioned, the heavy's so heavy that it's hard to knock him off from time to time here. So despite being at 180%, that wasn't enough, but 200% was. The Yoshi will even things up now. 2 stocks for each of these 2 players.
And still very much in the danger here, as you can see now at 100%. It's not going to take much. Could be the turtle toes, could be the side B, as again, Yoshi kind of has their back up against the wall, but they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge their way to victory as they avoid a lot of this damage. And now look at this, about to even the numbers here in damage percentage. They avoid the flamethrower, hit the back air, and try and use the power of those eggs that you were talking about until finally they fall into the spike spin, and it is now looking dangerous for Yoshi, and starting to look a little worrisome for Bowser as well. But there it is, the down spike to send Yoshi into the blast zone. Now 2 stocks to 1.
Yeah, now Yoshi's got a lot of work to do to try to come back into this one, but the eggs are a-flying. The one will connect, and it is going to be a couple little hits there from the tail as well of the Yoshi. Nicely done to try to bring this one back a little bit. You got to get the knock up here from the side of Enloe here soon, more specifically from the Yoshi, if you're able to close this one out and try to force it to 1 stock apiece. But now already up to 80% and counting. This is looking a little concerning. Up to 180% here now is WYMLA, however. And the kill should be soon for the Yoshi, but getting a little dicey for the Yoshi as well. That is going to be some more damage. 223% is absolutely crazy. The Yoshi definitely looking for a finish sometime here sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. You see, that's the thing about Bowser and a lot of heavies. You know, they can eat all that damage. Again, this is not too uncommon as another side B comes out on the ledge of the stage. Not enough to confirm, but it's going to be the turtle toes coming from the back air with 242% still to their name. It will be WYMLA to answer back here in game 2. We should be going to a game 3.
Yeah, we should be going to a game 3 here at Soka, and it's going to be a banger. We've had some gritty matchups here between these two crews here so far, and I'm excited to see the third player from each of these two crews come out and actually perform here as well. So to tie this one up, to set them apart from the tie here, it's currently tied up at 1-1. We'll see who can take that 2-1 advantage and ultimately win the series and find their win on the season. But with that being said, without further ado, let's head in to our last set of this one. Now we finally should have some characters getting changed up here, so let's check it out.
Well, Depreve, I got some unfortunate news. It has come to my attention that unfortunately there will be no game 3. There has been some difficulties, some issues about getting the third player in there. So it has been decided that this series will actually end in a draw. So this is the first I've ever seen a smash match end in a draw, but it does in fact happen, and it has happened here today. But do not worry, because we still have an entirely another series after this one. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more of the VESL Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Qualifiers right after this break. Hello, and welcome back once again to some VESL Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Qualifier action. As always, I am Captain Atsoka, joined on the desk by none other than Depreve. And Depreve, we got to see our first matchup, and to everyone's surprise, it ended in a draw.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that I've never seen, and this is the first time, and it might be the last time as well here, so we'll see if we do have a different outcome for the second set of the day. I sure hope so. I want to see a winner come through here at the end of the day, and I actually did believe we did see one of these two teams was actually fairly strong. They're 2-1 on the season so far. I believe that is the squad over at Southeast Raleigh High School, currently 2-1 on the season throughout the qualifiers. I'm expecting to see a lot of good play coming from them here in this next upcoming set.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they want to keep that record, because you got to keep in mind, these are the qualifiers. This is that way you can punch your ticket to regionals, and then that way you can get on the money. You got to keep in mind, for all of the events at regionals, we're talking $100,000+ prize pool for all of the esports that we have. Now, don't get me wrong, it's sectioned off. For example, Valorant is a $40,000 prize pool, and it varies in that regard. But still, that is a nice chunk of change. You can fill up a tank of gas, you can get some groceries, and maybe that's about it on 40 grand. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Let's get ready to head into our first matchup and see who will be representing their school and what characters are going to show up first. We already got to see the battle of the heavies, got to see a lot of heavies, but check it out. We're going to have not a Pyromithra because we just seen that. That was the other match. Here we go. Southeast Raleigh versus Leesville Road. And we got a Joker versus a Little Mac. Oh my.
Yeah, so I actually am friends with a few Little Mac mains here, but I've never seen a Joker actually come through and really play here. Is this something that you've experienced in your time casting of being a low pick rate?
What, Joker? No, they actually have a pretty high pick rate. Yeah, Joker at a point in time was considered the broken character in Smash. They were the meta, the top S-tier pick for a point in time, but as time's gone on, they have lost their since then popularity, but they are still very much a high pick rate. Little Mac, on the other hand, I mean, still a pretty moderate pick rate, very somewhat of a niche character, and you can see their shortcoming already. They are just awful off stage. Their off stage presence is doo-doo, for a lack of a better term. But honestly, in the world of Smash, Little Mac is the definition of a glass cannon.
All right. Now you're talking my language here. I don't know what you're talking about here now. So Lil Mac's going to try to stay kind of more the center of the stage here. Like you said, the off-air not going to be easy, but a big knock coming through there from the Lil Mac as well, sending him way off the stage and evening this one up now 2 stocks a piece here. The Joker looking to answer back, getting some damage of his own here on the own right, but the Lil Mac just landing some big punches here right now. Those boxing gloves must be filled with something to make these punches hit so hard, and it's going to be the side of Leesville Road right now. Just trying to get her back. The Joker coming through for Leesville, and Lil Mac having the from Southeast Raleigh.
And the thing that makes Little Mac the most dangerous, you saw it came online for a moment, it was that KO punch. That KO punch, as it pretty much alludes to, is a one-hit, no matter what, sends you straight into the blast zone. I mean, maybe not all the time. I guess it depends on the scenario that it may not be a one-hit, but I've never seen it not get the elimination, not get the stock. And of course, Joker has Arsene. If you look at the meter above their percentage, that's when Arsene is activated. That's that flame spectral ghost-looking character, and they also amplify damage as well. So again, both of these characters have special abilities in their arsenal, and right now Joker, in order to take advantage here, they just really got to get Little Mac off stage.
Yeah, Lil Mac here is just, you can tell, look at him, he's just staying towards the center of the stage here right now, not even entertaining the idea of chasing Joker down over near these sides. Lil Mac does get knocked off that stage real quick, does have that KO, big knockout punch, and there it is. That's exactly what you were talking about. And it's going to come through once again. And it's actually going to be the Lil Mac who takes the lead here now in this one. Up 2 stocks to 1, but at a very high percentage. Could not even get close to the edge of this one here now. Our third smell disaster just like that as the Joker knocks him off and evens this one back up at once. But the Lil Mac is back in the center stage, right exactly where he belongs. And it's going to rack up a nice little 40% of damage onto the Joker here. And a big punch as well to turn this to 61 and maybe just end it right here, right now. But the Joker will stay alive to live another day.
Yeah, for now, right now, Little Mac is absolutely crushing with a lot of these up tilts, finding these openings for the forward smashes and even the dash attacks. I mean, they are just absolutely eating this Joker alive. However, I will give it to the Joker's credit that they are playing on Final Destination. Remember we had mentioned earlier that Final Destination, flat surface, no platforms. Those platforms would have benefited Joker a lot more than Little Mac. Having this flat surface with no platforms gives Little Mac a lot more stage to operate on, and it gives them a lot less air to have to deal with. So as long as Little Mac is staying on the ground, not in the air, they're going to get the advantage every single time. But with that being said, that is going to be the first round, and it's going to go to the Little Mac. And let's face it, if you can take out Tyson, you can take out anyone.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The Lil Mac coming in strong, and like you mentioned with that flat surface, right? It's just like a boxing ring. It matches up right with his kind of motto right there. And so the Lil Mac, we'll see if they can continue to find the presence, the dominant presence that they had in game number 1 as we do transition into game number 2. Let's go check it out. Let's head into game number 2 and carry on with this Lil Mac action here up against the Joker and see if the Joker's got any kind of response up their sleeve.
Well, let's have a look-see, and then not only that, but we'll be able to see if they're going with the best of 2. No.
Oh, no,
they're
no.
Gonna go, okay, so that's it. That's going to be 1 point going to Southeast Raleigh, Raleigh, and now we're heading right into the next matchup. Now, this one has me concerned for Leesville, to be completely honest. You have a Richter taking on a Violet. Richter, again, a very niche character, very low pick rate. In order to be successful with Richter, you have got to be very good with Richter, whereas Violet, again, another high pick rate, S tier, arguable. Again, all tier lists are bonkers, by the way. I say it every time. But regardless, the pick rate for Byleth can't be denied. One of the strongest Fire Emblem characters with the most range of any of the Fire Emblem characters as well. They have the spear, they have the sword whip, they have a lot in their arsenal. Richter, somewhat of a pseudo-zoner. They have a lot of utility. As you can see, that Crucifix does come back around the hit, and they have to rely mostly on range, whereas Byleth, they can get the job done from medium to close range, and as you can see, has a little bit of range as them with the bow and arrows, as they're able to keep Richter off stage for a first stock elimination.
Yeah, the Byleth off to a very hot start here from Southeast Raleigh, potentially allowing them to take this series up 2-0 and close it up against Leesville Road. But we see a lot of damage coming through here now, and we are going to get a bit of a transition coming through, so maybe we're going to get that one cut off here for now, and I don't know what's happening. Bear with us. It's going to be switching back into our caster cams here right now. So hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is myself again, joined alongside the one, the only Captain Atsoka. But yeah, we'll see. I honestly no idea why that one cut out in the middle of it right there, but I'd love to see the end.
Well, it seems like we are having a bit of technical difficulties as I am getting word, and it seems like they doubled up on the match for round 2 for whatever reason. So we're just trying to sort things out and get the proper rulings to see how we should move forward again. We are again having to try and regulate and moderate this as we do it. You know, we're trying to again move things along as best as possible and make sure that everybody's satisfied, make sure that everybody's happy. Again, you got to make sure that the players are happy, the coaches are happy, moderators are happy, make sure everybody's following the rules, and make sure that there are no complaints at the end of the day. So again, if there was something wrong in that first matchup, maybe there was lag, input lag, could be anything. Somebody might have tripped over the wire. You never know. Someone could have tripped over the power cord and had the GG reset. But we are looking to get into the next match hopefully soon. As I am waiting for word from our producer to see how we will proceed going next. But again, just from that matchup, looking at the Byleth and Richter matchup, I got to say it was looking pretty one-sided.
Yeah, and honestly, just in general, Southeast Raleigh looks pretty good here all around, right? I mean, the Lil Mac knew exactly what the job needed to be to get done for Southeast Raleigh, and now we're seeing that come through in the second set as well. It looked like a little bit of a good start there for Southeast Raleigh, but they just got to continue and carry it on here through. So with that being said here, as we do fix up these issues on the back end, let's send this one over to a quick little break if that all works here for you guys. So bear with us. We'll be right back with some more Super Smash Bros. Action shortly, right after this quick break. Or maybe not. Maybe no break. Maybe no break.
Again, I think, like I said, I think our producer is actually trying to work on some things. But in the meantime, let's have a little bit of what I like to call the Deprive and at Soka show while we wait on production to make sure everything is all good and gravy. So again, you know, this is going now to be the Deprive and at Soka show. So Deprive, let me ask you. Okay, you said that you've never really done a lot of Smash casting, but have you ever played a good amount of Smash in your history?
No, I've never. That's the thing. Smash is a whole FGC in general. Actually, is a whole thing that it's not really something that I've really touched too much. I'm more of an FPS guy when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, but yeah, it's been something that has grown on me a lot more in the past couple of years. Getting more into collegiate esports, I've been able to find myself around Smash quite often. A lot of Smash kids on campus and stuff in my own personal school as well. So see them playing and stuff all the time. They're pretty good. They're pretty sweaty, and I have no chance.
Well, thank you for that little tidbit. But that's going to be the end of the Deprive and at Soka show, as we are going to be ready to head to a break now, and we will try and get everything fixed and hopefully be back with an update soon right after this. Well, hello and welcome back again. I am pretty sure that we've got everything figured out on our end, and also making sure that all of our players are happy and then everyone is satisfied with their connections, their inputs, and etc. So, without further ado, let's get ready to head back into this matchup of what is game round 2 between these two teams. So let's get ready to head right on into it. Once again, it's Southeast Rally versus Leesville Road. For those that may remember, it was in fact a Little Mac that managed to take the Joker out in the first go bout, and I don't understand why they're going back to Final Destination. Normally when you lose, you get the next map pick. What is happening?
Yeah, I am not sure. I think they might have to stay on the same stage with the same characters in order for like the rules following around this one. So maybe that could be it. But it is going to make a big advantage here for the Lil Mac. We saw what happened on this flat stage last time around, like you mentioned, and the Joker already off to a tough start in this one, looking to answer back, but really has to focus getting the Lil Mac off stage, and it's not going to be an easy task, but that's exactly the start you are looking for, I guess, if you're the Joker, being able to knock that Lil Mac off and start off hot.
Okay, I think we're seeing the exact same match that we saw. Okay, now maybe this is the match we're supposed to see, because previously that was the exact same intro that we saw for game 1. That was the exact same. We just saw that was game 1, round 1. We just got a replay. Okay, so now maybe this is game 1, round 2.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping
like,
so as well.
And I'm really hoping so as well, because from the silhouettes, it looks like Sephiroth versus Kazuya, and that right there is going to be a hell of a match. I mean, my goodness, I want to see that matchup.
Yeah, we shall see here momentarily with this one. I mean, we are getting everything figured out on the back end here with these technical difficulties, so bear with us and roll with the punches for us, as Lil Mac would do. But that being said, Southeast Raleigh, I mean, that Lil Mac was looking strong, so I'm expecting that would carry on through here for the next set as well. Not 100% sure here, as we do get these files actually all sorted through here on the back end and get this one back into play. But that's what I'm saying. What do you think that from the competition you've seen from these high schools here today? You got any opinions on it? You got anything like it's stronger that you thought, or anything like that?
Mostly just that Southeast Raleigh, I think, is going to be going to regionals. I mean, with the way they've been playing and the way that they have demonstrated, not only do I think that they are currently, playing on another level compared to their opponent, but I think they're playing on another level compared to all of the teams that we have seen so far here today. And, I think we're in for a real treat. Is now we're no longer on Final Destination. We are going to Battlefield, and we have Kazuya versus Sephiroth, one of the most dangerous brawlers in the game. Kazuya going up against Sephiroth, who is a notorious swordie. This should make for one heck of a match. I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah, it's going to be Southeast Raleigh with that one there, trying to make something happen, and a great start with it as well. A lot of damage getting inflicted onto the side of Leesville here right now, knocked off the stage and all, and looking for that finisher punch, but not able to find it. A bit of a response coming through there as well. Southeast Raleigh looking to see what they can do back, but nothing quite yet. They're evening this one up here a little bit as we approach the mid-game of these first stocks for both of these two players. Now, shields up top on the platform. The platform, something we didn't really see as much with the Lil Mac Joker. And that's going to be a great start for Southeast Raleigh. Like you said you anticipate them going to regionals, and I would agree with you on that one, Ahsoka, as we are seeing Southeast Raleigh continue on with their dominance here in series number 2.
Yeah, I'm honestly completely surprised. Now they're going to go for the grabs, because, again, we saw Sephiroth use a lot of the bubble shield, and not only that, but now Demon Rage is now online for Kazuya. As you can see, they are glowing red. Once they hit 100%, Demon Rage initiates, and that's going to amplify their damage by a nice chunk, and that's why Sephiroth is trying to avoid them. They're going for the full length of the stage, and again, just throwing out that utility, as, again, they're using their ranged attacks here, not trying to risk too much, but also looking to confirm the stock on Kazuya, as, once again, they have to recover off the ledge. Grab, big opening here, but there's the Heaven's Gate, a big move there, and that just deals 50% damage. Well done, but still, as you had mentioned earlier, for Kazuya, job's not done.
Yeah, Kazuya still remaining at 3 stocks is massive, especially being able to pick up that 70% like you were mentioning as well. Kazuya staying alive here on this one. Oh my goodness, the shots are coming through. The beam is there, and that is going to be on top here now. Kazuya looking to drop down, maybe find a bit of damage, but actually knocked back here for now. Kazuya falling down, but stays alive, 160%. That is getting fairly strong here for the side of Leesville, and actually Kazuya will find another 3 stocks to 1. I don't think we've seen too many 2-stock advantages yet here today.
No, it has been very rare, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts. But right now, you can see these up tilts going into the up airs are just working so well for Kazuya at 170% damage. Does have the grab, but still not a Heaven's Gate. It's not going to be enough to confirm, but that one from Sephiroth definitely does, as they're able to get the revenge stock. But is it too little too late? 89% on their last stock, and there you have it. Not much doing, and this is why Kazuya is one of the most fearsome brawlers in Smash.
Yeah, Kazuya playing that one very nicely, and I honestly don't think I've seen a more dominant game of Smash in quite some time. Southeast Raleigh showing why they belong, showing why they have that 2-1 record, and showing why they're fighting for their spot regionals quite literally here on the Smash stage. As we do have that should confirm a 1-0 lead for Southeast Raleigh, if I am correct.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Let's hope as we get ready to head into the next match, and we'll see how this one plays out. But I gotta say, I'm not disappointed with those matchups. I hope the matchups continue to be as good. I want to see more, as now that is going to end up for the first game there, going in the way of Raleigh. And now here we are, our Byleth versus Richter for game 2, round 1. We are back on track, folks.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a brief moment of this matchup here just a few minutes ago, so nice to be back to it, but this time in the right order of things here right now. Southeast Raleigh actually up 1-0 in this series here now, as Leesville Road looks to find themselves a response and potentially force this one to a third series as well here for this one. But it's going to be Xander here. Pretty even fight here for both of these two players right now through this midfield. You mentioned that the Leesville Road character had a lot of utility being able to use, but Southeast Raleigh, that's a high pick rate character coming through from themselves. So that's going to spell a bit of a difference here between these two teams, between these two players. That's going to be the first knockoff there. Southeast Raleigh picking up right where they left off.
Again, because Byleth is just so good at nearly every range, and not necessarily like their long range abilities, their utility is great. Like the bow and arrow, it's nice, but again, it's mostly just a ledge guard. As you can see, they were able to keep Richter at bay and keep them from grabbing ledge just by using that extra utility. But where they do the most damage, of course, is with their weaponry, more towards the close range, which is going to be the sword, the spear, and of course that the sword whip is what I was referring to. But at the same time, they're able to keep their distance if need be with that bow and arrow, and as you've already seen, has been used the ledge guard as we continue on between this bout between Richter and Byleth.
Yeah, the Richter Byleth matchup coming in here, and another one actually going in favor to the Byleth here now, as it is going to be Southeast Raleigh up 3 stocks to 1. We haven't seen this much at all tonight, and then 2 times in a row we've seen 2 stock advantages be gained. We'll see if Southeast Raleigh can get the clean sweep here on this one and find that 3-0 win, and it's gonna happen. Southeast Raleigh up 1-0 in the series and already up 1-0 in the second set here now. Looking good while doing so. The Byleth will just show the dominance.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the arsenal they're bringing. Again, sword, bow and arrow, spear, all of which are equally dangerous. And not to mention, I'm surprised and honestly should count Richter lucky that they did not face an up smash. I mean, they did get hit with the up B at least once, but that up smash, that whip, that sword whip just deals so much damage. And, they didn't even have to bring it out again. And not to mention, I'm really surprised we didn't see a Byleth ledge guard on the down smash or the forward smash with the spear, but it doesn't matter because Byleth clearly knows what they're doing. They're playing the zone game, and they're playing to Richter's weaknesses, which is just simply getting them off stage, because much like Little Mac, their recovery is doo-doo. I'm sorry, but Richter does not have the best recovery. You keep them off stage, you keep them in the air, you keep them at their weakness, and then that's how you win games.
Yeah, we'll see if that changes up as we head into our next one here now. So let's go check it out here and head into our next game here, and potentially our final game, I believe, as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if Southeast Raleigh wins this one, then that is going to end things off, and Southeast Raleigh will clean up this series 2-0. So a lot on the line here for Leesville Road. This is their last life here, their last attempt. It's not too hot of a start here. So Byleth is just going to continue to show the dominance here on this one. That's one thing you got to keep an eye out here for. Already putting the side of the Richter into recovery mode, and like you mentioned, the recovery not strong there on the Richter, so got to be careful of that. 70% counting though. The Byleth is so strong.
Absolutely, and I think even before the match started, Xander, the player that is on the Byleth, had announced in a quick intro that they are only going to be using close range attacks in this round. Close range is what they said, but I'm not think they're keeping to their word. That bow and arrow definitely not close range. But regardless, they are starting off with 107%, now 118 already on the Richter. They're applying the ledge guard. There's that up smash I was telling you about. It didn't come around in round 1, but it definitely came through in the first stock in round 2.
The up smash is finding a lot of value, getting a very nice kill shot very early on with this one. The recovery just not there. I mean, you talked about it, and we're seeing it live time and time again. It's going to be the Richter, currently down by 2 stocks, and fight against the world here to come back in this one. Has to find a miracle to come back into this series here. Xander looks to continue on the damage here right now. No damage coming into him from Richter's fight yet here. Now onto the final stock, but some nice little bits of utility. Gonna keep this one from range, and the Richter now starting to show his presence.
And you see, that's the thing, like, this Richter is constantly trying to close the gap and beat Violet from the close range, but that's not going to happen. Richter has a lot of utility. You have to use that utility. And then not to mention, even if they try to get close, that's what the flow is for. You have the flail, that's going to be your main use. So your utility is for the long, and you have to do your best to keep your distance. It's starting to seem like Richter is finally starting to figure that out, but I think it's too little too late. And Violet, of course, making up for the distance with the spear and with the sword.
And the Violet will end it off right there. 3 stocks down for Leesville, and Southeast Raleigh will pick up a win on the series, and they're going to move on to 3-1 here throughout these VESL qualifiers. I'm fairly certain, unless we have another game and the format has suddenly changed here for us, but that is going to be it. Actually, I did just get word we are done and over. It's going to be Southeast Raleigh able to pick it up and move on to 3-1.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. It's Dover. It's done and over. It's Dover. Okay, it's Denver. But with that being said, join us next time for some more VESL action, as we can see that this is how our matches ended up today. It was a draw going for our first matchup between Enloe and MWLA, and it was 2-0 in the favor of Southeast Raleigh, as we expect to see them move on and continue to be successful, as they now sit with a 2-1 record. Not bad at all. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate right here for at least the Wake County region. So with that being said, there are still more fun to be had, more Smash action to be had, and don't forget, we should be back tomorrow with more esports action as well. So we will see you next time. Once again, it has been Deprive. I have been Captain Atsoga, and of course, big shout out to Lock M making the magic happen in production. We will see you on the next one.